Okay, welcome to episode 3 of AI TV. We're broadcasting live here from Cape Town. It's a real honor to welcome Celina Lee, who's the CEO from Zindi Africa. Welcome, Celina, to AI TV.
Thank you, Nick.
So, for our viewers, Celina, why don't you tell them a little bit about Zindi and what the Zindi platform is all about?
So Zindi is a data science competition platform specifically focused on the African market. So we're really looking at solving African challenges with African data sets and really creating a space where African data scientists can join in and help to build machine learning models and AI models to help solve these problems.
Now, I think you launched the platform a year ago. And I think from what I've read in social media and the news, it's been a massive success. So
yeah.
Tell us how did it originate? What was the idea behind Zindi?
Yeah, and it's been less than a year ago. I mean, we launched at AI Expo in September last year, and it's just been running very quickly ever since. The kind of the reasoning behind it was just we were coming to this realization and noticing that in the market, in the African market, there's a lot of organizations and companies that are starting to generate more and more data. Just massive amounts of data are coming out of the continent with, with mobile and digital solutions. And so companies are starting to try to figure out what they can do, how they can even start to take their first steps on their data journey. They realize that they have an asset, but how can they start to leverage advanced analytics like machine learning and AI. And a lot of companies end up assuming that they're not going to be able to find the best solutions in their own market. They feel like they have to look outside of Africa to find the best solutions.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and so we realized that there was kind of this inefficiency in the market, this gap in the market, and a place where, there was a need for a space where we could provide a space where companies could find the best talent, and where data scientists in Africa could also showcase their skills, start to build their skills on real challenges, real data sets that they would have to encounter and help to solve once they, as they join the job market. And I'd also mentioned that, the reason why it's really important for African data scientists to have these opportunities to solve African problems is because data science isn't just a pure science, it's also an art, and it also takes a lot of understanding about the problem that you're trying to solve. And so I think that what's often overlooked is that African data scientists bring this unique value and this tremendous value because they understand the market context, the problem, and what the solutions need to look like.
Yeah. So, just give our viewers a taste of some of the projects which you've launched, because I'm a bit biased. I subscribe to your program, and obviously I see the announcements coming out monthly that you've got a new challenge. So just give some people watching this an idea of what are the challenges that you're putting out there so they can relate it back to their own use cases in business or the organizations they work for.
Yeah, and we try to come out with at least 1 or 2 challenges every month, and we're just trying to cover a broad base of different types of business challenges, social challenges that are typical to this market. So anything from sea turtle conservation to traffic in Nairobi to fraud detection, so we're trying to touch on a lot of different types of problems, different types of data. One of the big challenges that is live right now that we're really trying to encourage people to join is a agriculture challenge where we're working with a startup company here in Cape Town, and they're using satellite imagery to help push forward the agriculture sector. So we have a challenge where we're asking data scientists to be able to read in satellite imagery and identify what types of crops are growing in different fields using AI. So
okay, so let me put an example. I'm a business owner, or I'm a person in an organization we've discovered a problem. How do we go about engaging with Zindi, and how does it work? What's the mechanics of that process? So you ring up, or you inquire, what happens next?
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, it's a pretty straightforward process. We have a team of data scientists. So when a company approaches us with a potential problem or just saying like, I have so much data, I don't know what to do. So we usually start with a workshop with them, with our data scientists, and trying to meet with the people in their business who understand the business, who understand the data, and try to hone in onto exactly what type of what type of problem or opportunity we want to unlock using machine learning. And so once we've defined the problem, we help them curate the right data set. So either internally, also sourcing external data sets as needed. And once we've gotten that, we post it onto the Zindi platform and we open it up to our community.
Okay, so at that point though, so you enter into a arrangement with the customer of the project.
Yes.
And as I understand it, that the way we motivate people to get engaged in the challenge is that they put up a prize amount, a prize fund or a prize.
Yes.
So to explain the motivation there, it's a crowdsourcing model, but there's also a prize at the end of it for the people that succeed or come out number one. So how does that scoring, how does that league thing work, and how do they get their prize?
Yeah, so once the competition is up, the data scientists can go to Zindi. They download the data sets. They enroll into the competition. They download the data set and they start to build machine learning models. They can make as many submissions as they want during the course of the competition. The competitions are usually open, 3 to 4 months, depending on the complexity. And as they make submissions, each time they make a submission, they get back an accuracy score. So, and then they're leaderboard. So this is how we actually are judging all the submissions that come through. I mean, some of the competitions get like over 20,000 submissions. So this is all automated, on the platform. And at the end of the time when the competition closes, the leaderboard is frozen, and we take the top 3 winners on the leaderboard and we ask them for their code. So then once we get the code back, we validate the code, make sure that it actually produces what they say it produced, and then we hand over the code to the competition host to be able to take it forward, and we award the cash prizes to the top 3 data scientists.
So in a way, what Zindi has become for the client is a crowdsourced, outsourced resource, essentially. So rather than tapping into a data scientist, let's say they've hired 1 or 2 data scientists, potentially you could get maybe access to hundreds, if not thousands, of data scientists who are making multiple submissions to solving that problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite exciting because, I mean, each competition, I mean, now that we're at over 4,000 users, we just launched the competition 2 days ago, and already I just checked, we have like 80 data scientists enrolled. So actually each competition gets hundreds, up to, 600-700 data scientists enrolled and working on your problem.
So it's almost like just switching on a whole department just for that one particular problem.
Yeah.
You get your answer back as the corporate sponsor.
Yeah.
And then is there a follow-on from that? So is there the potential for them to say, well, the top 3 people who entered that competition and gave us the answers, can we hire them? Can we employ them? And what happens next?
For sure. I mean, I think a lot of the companies that are interested in competitions, it indicates that they're also, probably interested in building out their capacity for data science. So a lot of them, almost all of them, have expressed interest in hiring off of the back of a competition. So that is a service that we also offer for sure, is connecting them with the data scientists that enter their competition for sure, and then also just generally over the whole pool of talent that we have on Zindi. It's something that I think, actually a lot of the data scientists on Zindi, we're starting to do some market research and some interviews with some of our users. All of them are very interested also in getting new job opportunities as well.
All right. Now, this isn't just a popular thing in South Africa. I mean, this is a properly continental platform that's running across Africa. So, I mean, I think you mentioned that you'd had people. One of the top guys is in Tunisia. Yeah. There's submissions from East Africa, West Africa, Southern Africa.
I mean, we're like, our team is based in South Africa, but actually South Africa is not even the biggest country for us.
Which is out of interest?
Kenya and Nigeria are up there. I mean, South Africa is also up there, but Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa are our biggest countries. After that, we have Tunisia is one of our biggest bigger countries, Uganda, Tanzania, Senegal. So it's really everywhere. We looked at our Google Analytics recently. Since we've launched Zindi, we've actually had a unique user in virtually every country. It's all but 2 countries.
Wow,
we've had a user.
So that's out of the 54 countries in Africa. There's only 2 so far where you haven't.
We've reached 52 countries in Africa already.
I mean, that's quite an amazing feat for a platform that hasn't. I mean, I think you've been going 10, 11 months now.
Yes.
From launch last year at AI Expo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite an achievement. I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was going to say a lot of people perhaps aren't aware that there's talent broadly across Africa, and we're actually tapping into it.
I think
stats are interesting.
I think we've hit on like a certain need and a certain unmet need that was in the market, and particularly for the data scientists to have this opportunity to really kind of, build up their professional profile publicly and build up their exposure globally, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive advert for Africa and African talent. So, I mean, and in 11 months, that's an amazing achievement. I mean, just really leading to the wrap up, I mean, we've actually just been working ourselves for AI Expo with you on a challenge. We put a challenge on there for the show in September, which was to create Africa's first piece of music and art. And we've just been reviewing them, and we've had some amazing submissions. Some of them better than others, but the methods that everyone's using, everyone's tackled it in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think that's the interesting thing with Zindi. It actually shows people that there's different ways of tackling problems, and that actually you can actually find some very interesting, unique perhaps ways of approaching a problem. So I mean, it's amazing in that regard.
Yes,
what is the future for Zindi then? Just to wrap up, where is Zindi heading?
Well, I mean, we're starting to build up some really nice partnerships with some of the bigger companies in Africa and actually globally. So we're looking to build up our base of competitions and support. And then from the data science side, we have a network of ambassadors out there. And one of the goals for this coming year is to have an ambassador in almost every country in Africa. We really want to show that Zindi is there to serve every single country in Africa. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So look, it just leaves me to say thanks very much, Celina, for joining us. It's amazing to hear about an African innovation being used in Africa that's leveraging African skills. And obviously, we wish you well with the development of the platform in the years to come. So
thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of AI TV. Next week, we're going to be meeting an organization that's focusing on the social good side of AI and creating jobs. And we look forward to you joining us next week when we'll be having that conversation. Thanks for joining us.